My name is Teresa Laverne Williams Brooks. That is who I am. And I've been here at MU Health for 5 months, as Peter indicated. I was born and raised right here in Columbia, Missouri. I can remember in elementary school, in the 5th grade, we finally hired our first African American teacher, and her name was Doris Lewis. And I can remember walking in that classroom that first day, and I cannot tell you the pride I felt as I saw somebody that looked like me. Doris Lewis. I had never had an educator that looked like me. I can remember I watched her every move. I loved the way she moved. I loved the way she wore her hair. I just loved everything about her. She was a beautiful woman. And most importantly, she looked like me. It gave me someone to look up to. And not only that, but Doris and her husband were very good friends with my parents. So I knew I had to do everything just right while I was in school, or I knew that she would give a report back to them. But you know, that's kind of how I was raised, a PK, a pastor's kid. I wanted always to do the things that were expected of me. So with Mrs. Doris Lewis there at the school, every time I had a marking period, I would run and show her my grades before I even took them home, because I wanted that sense of, acknowledgement and acceptance. And that's what it's like when you go through school or life not identifying with anyone that looks like you. You all of a sudden want this sense of acceptance. And that's what I experienced. How many of you know that there is a difference in fitting in than belonging? And it was my experience at the University of Missouri that I realized that. I felt like I didn't fit in, nor did I belong. So when I got to Michigan and I started working for the health systems there, I began to see people that looked like me again. And I finally started finding me. And not only did I fit in, but I belonged. And I can tell you from experience that when you belong, you flourish. And that's why diversity is so important, because without it, without the feeling of belonging, we can't become who we were meant to be, because we're always trying to be what other people expect of us and who they expect us to be. So let's fast forward. Late summer 2019, I received a call from a recruiter about an opportunity in a town called Columbia, Missouri. But I had an important decision to make. Many people said, why would you ever want to go back? But I understood that I am not the same young lady that left in 1985. My experiences have given me the opportunity to understand what belonging really means. And I can be exactly who I am without having to try to fit in. And I am now home. And I'm happy to be home. I'm back here where I belong in Columbia, Missouri. And probably the only regret I have is that my mother and my father are not here to see me, to really see me after 35 years. So I thank you, MU Health. That is my story. I'm sticking with it. I'm here, I'm home, and I belong. And I am glad to be a part of this leadership team. Thank you.